Today I'm coming at you with this Harbor Frieght edition Pittsburg hand spline socket set universal. Alright, it's a handy little gadget. You can pick it up for about $5 at Harbor Frieght. As always, Pittsburg lifetime guarantee. You break it, you walk in, they give you a brand new one. I'm going to test this thing out because this is a pretty handy little tool to have in a pinch. It's not one that somebody would use every day for everything, but it's one of those for $5 you really can't beat it. As you can see, it's got all of your standard sizes, which is supposed to fit the same thing as your metric sizes, and you can see through it. So that means that you can put it over top of something, a fastener that's got a bolt that runs through it, at least up until the point where you get to the 1/4 side, and then you really can't get one through there, but that's because it's not set up that way. But all the rest of them, you can see straight through it. So that's a handy dandy little thing to have right there. Let's test this thing out and see what it can do. I'm going to start with something basic with this carriage bolt inside of this vise, and I'm going to put this fastener down on it. Now this should be a 7/16 size bolt and fastener, so works really good to tighten it up hand tight. So if somebody needed this in a pinch, it would work great for that. The other plus side is you can sit here and spin it. It makes taking the fastener off quite easy. It holds right onto it. It's built to where it'll hold onto it and take it up, but so that the bolt can go through it. So whenever you're getting in a pinch and you need to use something like this, get something on nice, tight, quick, hand tight, perfect for that. Put me some pressure on it here. Try to torque it a little bit with my hand. Alright. Inspecting the actual fastener, you can see where it bit into it a little bit, but it's definitely tight. So as far as using this tool already for hand tightening things, for your basic everyday applications, it seems to work wonders. It grips it real tight, and as you can see, this thing is dirty. So I've used this many times before, and it hasn't really given me a problem. So it's been worn. It's not brand new. This is what it's going to be after you've used it for a while. It's still going to work pretty good, but it does bite into the fastener there, as it should, I guess, when you go real tight with it. So now let's tighten it up and see what it'll do whenever you put something on it for leverage to really torque something, if it'll work, or if it'll hold up, or if it'll break the bolt in half. Oh, it just gave. I have a feeling that it just stripped on us. Oh yeah. It just, see if I can focus this camera here. Oh yeah, as you can see, it definitely rounded off the outside of that fastener. Definitely rounded it off. So let's put this back on here and see if it'll even remotely try to loosen up for us. If it'll grip going in reverse to take it off. I don't know if it's actually gripping it, or, oh yeah, how about that? Going in reverse. Taking it off. Yeah, it's definitely chewed that up. Definitely chewed it up some. Now let's see how much pressure it forced it down onto the vise. Oh yeah. You can probably see it there, where it forced it down on the vise. It's nice and shiny. You can put quite a bit of pressure on it, and it bit into it really well. It didn't break it. It didn't do nothing bad to the particular item. So as far as hand tightening or doing some basic torquing with it by hand, good shape. Now, as I said, it put a whole lot of pressure on that thing to squish it up against this vise here, and it still bit it enough to take it off. So let's put us a brand new 7/16 fastener on here. Now let's see what it'll do whenever we force it down against that and put some real good torque on this thing. Alright, 7/16. Now this should be hitting both of them right there. We're going to try to get to the top fastener and turn it to see what it'll do here. Because I want to see if it'll hold enough of a grip to split this thing in half, even though it's just a little 7/16 size. I can already tell you, it gripped it good. It gripped it so good that we have just stripped the threads off. It didn't kill the fastener that time, but it definitely stripped the threads underneath it. So once again, it'll grip it to pull it off here. So we will get this thing loose and see what our threads look like. And go from there. Oh, maybe. Oh, it's just sitting there rounded off, so it's definitely stripped. And it didn't give me enough pressure to put on it to break this thing. Basic little carriage bolt here. Nothing fancy, nothing special. But it didn't give me enough pressure to actually break it, but it did strip out the threads on it. So as far as this thing working for something like that, really well. So I would say in a nutshell, if you want to buy this item for $5, throw it in your truck, keep it in your toolbox. It'll come in handy at some point in time or another, especially like in a vehicle. If you want to get out and tighten something up, I mean, you're not going to have a lot of room to move it because it's so wide and bulky. But, you know, you never know whenever you got to pop out and just get a hold of something and tighten it up by hand that you might need something like this. And it'd be good for the toolbox too. You might just want to grab something, go over and tighten a few things, loosen a few things, stick your little bar, screwdriver through it here. It works really well for that application. The only problem is where it's kind of bulky, you know, to do a lot of auto mechanic work and things. But you never know when this type of tool might come in handy in a pinch. So for $5, I mean, it really ain't that bad from Harbor Frieght, and it's, like I said, their Pittsburg name brand. So all in all, that's pretty good. Maybe later we will try out a bigger batter bolt and bigger batter fastener and see how it does with it. Well, here's something basic that you could use it on. Let's see, if you got any kind of wheels, you know, things on your actual tool cart that you move around with, you could take it in a pinch. You could use it to kind of hold the bolt, hold the fastener, tighten it. You know, all you need is a basic little opened in wrench, adjustable wrench, and one of these, and you could use it for multiple purposes in a pinch. It's just something simple, easy. You know, you got a certain place in a workshop where you only work on specific items, like you got a whole set of wheels, you replace them on carts or, you know, toolboxes and stuff all the time. This is one of those items that would be good to have handy with a basic open-end wrench beside of it where you could stick it on. You could put your open-end wrench, you could twist it on, twist it off, have yourself a screwdriver handy for a little bit of torque. I mean, it would come in handy for multiple different little odd jobs, you know, as one of those, you know, odd tools to just have around time to time, laying in your toolbox, sitting somewheres. This won't be too bad of a deal. Too bad of a deal. But that's a little bit information for you all. The rest is up to you to decide if it's worth your time and your money or not. For me, well, it's a handy little item. And because I work in an industrial factory, well, it's always going to have a purpose because I can always stick it somewhere for something that I can just grab and use in a pinch. Till next time, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment below, hit the thumbs down if you don't like it, and tell me what your thoughts are on this particular item.